The flight in particular is very good for narcotics, cocaine, heroin. In the past few months, we've seen quite a few seizures of both cocaine and heroin.
Where's this coming in from?
Santo Domingo. You got cargo on here today? No. All the bags will go in through the X-ray 100%. We'll look for anomalies within the bags. We are the first line of defense. Guys, cut these open. Most of the time when you find something wrapped up in tape and cardboard squared off like this, it's usually used to cover narcotics. When you see brick-like objects inside of the suitcase, it might be cheese, or it's coke or heroin in a brick.
Detroit Metro Airport. Travelers arrive here from more than 160 locations around the globe. So when it comes to protecting America, U.S. Customs officers have their work cut out for them.
How long are you going to be here?
Where do you live?
How much money are you traveling with?
They're not just catching contraband. They're also weeding out foreigners willing to disregard U.S. immigration laws.
How long will you folks be staying?
Today, a Dutch traveler has come to the U.S. to visit relatives.
And you're visiting your dad's nephew?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're traveling on the ESTA program, correct?
Yeah.
No visa?
Nope.
Okay.
The ESTA program pre-approves travelers to visit the U.S. without a visa, but working is not allowed.
One of the things with the visa waiver program is they don't have to see a consular officer before they come here. So we only really get one chance to talk to them. Okay, so you quit your job 4 months ago. What is the job that you used to do?
I was with a little dump truck. We hauled gravel and sand.
You drove dump trucks?
Yeah.
And why did you quit your job?
Because I wanted to make this journey.
For this journey?
Yeah.
So did you quit, or are you on a 90-day vacation?
No, I quit.
You quit?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go back to the Netherlands,
I have to search for something
you have to find a new job?
Yeah, of course.
Well, when your cousin goes to work every day, what are you gonna do?
Well, that's something I have to figure out.
How much cash do you carry?
Around 650 euros.
650 euros?
Yeah.
How much do you have available on credit cards?
At the moment, it's 180 euros, and every week I get 180 additional.
So you don't have very much money for 90 days. He said he quit his job to come here. So red flags are going up all over the place.
The town of Blaine in northern Washington state sees approximately 5 million vehicles cross the Canada-US border every year.
Hi, do you have your passports?
And the Pacific Highway is the go-to for buses heading to Vancouver.
Have a safe trip.
Today,
So were you on a bus going up there?
I was on a bus, yep.
the Canada Border Services Agency has rejected a US passport holder's attempted entry into Canada. And that's a red flag for officers.
Why are you going to Canada?
I got a girlfriend over there, sir.
They told me he was not eligible to go into Canada, but not much more about that.
Got the ticket here, sir.
I have to verify and make sure that he's an American coming back. I also have to verify that there's no wants or warrants or that no one's looking for him. All right, sir. Can I just have you put your hands on that?
The traveler's name has triggered an armed and dangerous alert.
Nothing sharp or dangerous on you right now?
Yes, sir.
In New York City,
Where's this coming in from?
U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers are searching for contraband coming in from a known drug source country.
Yeah.
And they may have hit on something.
When you see brick-like objects inside of the suitcase, it might be cheese, or it's coke or heroin in a brick. Just cut it right down the middle, just in case it is a load. Yeah, nah, just liquor. Today is a no-go. This happens to be dulce de leche. You'll get a lot of it out of the Dominican Republic. Cut open a couple of them. It is what it is. It's just candy. But these are the types of ways that they also conceal the narcotics. Right now, we didn't hit anything, but it looked pretty promising on the X-ray. But at least they're doing the right thing. They're being observant.
The luggage is cleared for contraband. But a package intercepted at the cargo warehouse is ringing alarm bells.
Our team, they came across a shipment that contained a white granular substance that fits the profile of a synthetic drug. So what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna don all our protective gear and we're gonna break the shipment down. We're gonna do a couple of tests just in case we do have cocaine.
At the Pacific Highway border crossing,
Nothing sharp or dangerous on you right now?
a traveler's in custody after his name set off an armed and dangerous alert.
I saw the alarm. I wanted to make sure he didn't have a weapon or anything on him, so we grabbed him so we can figure out what's actually going on.
A baggage exam reveals he's recently returned from Europe and Iraq.
All right, so you just stay there. We'll just talk for a minute to figure this out. You just came back from Europe?
Went to Kurdistan.
Okay.
What brought you to Kurdistan?
I'm Florida, sir.
So how'd you get over to the U.S.?
I was an exchange student.
Okay. And then from that, what'd you do?
From that, I couldn't go back because there was death threats for me. Because I'm associated with Americans, so I stayed here. I went to school and college for a couple of years.
Okay.
All my friends in college were vets, so I had to join the Army.
Okay. I have to verify and make sure that he's who he says he is.
In Detroit,
So you don't have very much money for 90 days.
a Dutch traveler claims he's come to the U.S. for an extended family visit.
He's unemployed. He said he quit his job to come here. So red flags are going up all over the place. Your cousins are coming here to visit. Are they gonna feed you?
Yes, I hope so.
But when you communicate him, you don't communicate in English.
No,
Who is this one right here?
he is someone from Canada. I visited last year. My dad worked in Canada at a small farm when he was 19. And I was over there to visit those people.
Because she says something about the weather was good for haying.
Yeah, because she has a farm.
And you worked on the farm.
No, I visit them for a couple of days.
Do you know why she would say the weather is good for haying? Why she would be communicating that to you?
Because I asked for that.
But that's in Canada, right?
Yeah, that's in Canada.
We'll just leave your phone and your passport right in here. Said you have one more check bag?
Yeah. Okay. So what's the problem, if I may ask?
There's not necessarily a problem. When people come in on the ESTA program, they're held to a little bit of a higher standard. Okay? You know, you're coming in, you don't have a job, you recently quit your job, you're working age, you're coming for the maximum allowed on the ESTA program. Is that your bag?
Yeah.
Okay. Just have a step back, okay? But I haven't seen anything that's gonna get you sent home. However, if you're coming here to work and you lied to me, if at any time you want to change any of your answers, just let me know.
At JFK Airport in New York City,
Our team came across a shipment that contained a white granular substance.
Customs and Border Protection officers are busting open a massive shipment of suspected narcotics.
We're just gonna carefully open the first bag, then we'll get into the second bag. We'll scoop out a fair amount and fill out that vial. This is the type of stuff we see frequently at JFK. This is actually one of the larger ones. We normally see them anywhere from a half-kilo size, packaged in silver foil, to larger bundles such as this. We're testing right now for a general narcotic alkaloid, and we're gonna also hit it for cocaine. Came up negative for cocaine. I'm like 99% sure it's gonna be a synthetic drug, but we still have to go through the process of sending it to the lab so they can specifically identify the drug. We're gonna have to secure it sample it, send that sample to the lab. Once it comes back positive, they'll follow up with an investigation on the persons that imported it, as well as every part of that supply chain.
You just came back from Europe?
Actually, I went to Kurdistan.
Okay.
What brought you to Kurdistan?
I'm from there, sir.
Officers have detained a U.S. Army veteran whose name has triggered an armed and dangerous alert.
I have to verify and make sure that he's who he says he is. So he told me that he did come to America in 2006. I've learned that he came over to the United States as a foreign exchange student. He got his permanent residency. He joined U.S. military. He said when he was over in Iraq, he wasn't able to see his family. So he has just come back from a trip to Kurdistan. He saw his family, then he went through Europe and is flying back.
No, it's not an exact match. Looking at his passport and looking at the name and the date of birth, that we're able to determine it was not him.
It looks like a case of mistaken identity.
It was an armed and dangerous, and we have to control the individual while we work through it.
All right, so it looks like we're almost done. We'll get you out of here in a couple minutes. We'll get you on the next bus going north or south.
Initially, we took him into custody. We placed him in handcuffs to try to isolate from the innocent traveling public any threat or law enforcement concern. Then we worked through those concerns. We were putting him back into the bus travel circuit.
Perfect. We're gonna do your thumb. No, start with the thumb. We're not gonna roll. We're just pressing down.
I'm a war veteran. I was in the United States Army for 3.5 years. I went to Afghanistan. I lost friends over there. And I was born in Iraq, so every time I come and leave, this is how I get treated, so.
And can you just stand over there? We'll take a quick picture.
This is just a routine action that we take each and every day in protecting the homeland.
Every day, New York's JFK International Mail Facility processes 500,000 parcels from across the globe.
Here at JFK, our role is to prevent any type of illicit items coming in that could harm the United States, either economically or physically. We search the packages, we run them through x-rays. If something seems out of the ordinary, we will continue a further examination.
I got some kind of odd shape on here. It's coming from the Republic of Cameroon. We're gonna go to our examination room, open it up, and take a close look at it. This is kind of tight. Okay. Okay, like skulls.
It's a human.
Take your stuff, follow me.
You're all set.
Thank you.
A Dutch traveler says he's spending 3 months with relatives as a guest. The officer is concerned he may overstay his welcome.
If you're coming here to work and you lied to me, if at any time you want to change any of your answers, just let me know. Okay, you can go ahead and put this back together.
There's nothing suspicious in the bags, so attention turns back to the traveler's cell phone.
I need somebody to read these messages in your phone. So right now we're waiting on a Dutch translator. What it's gonna do is it's gonna tell a story of what your plans are while you're here. My goal is not to send you home. My goal is to make sure that if you come into the United States, that you're gonna abide by our immigration laws. Of course. Okay. Oh, I think we have a Dutch translator. Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm happy to see you.
Hi.
So this gentleman is coming to visit his cousin.
All right.
And all I would like you to do is perhaps read some of the communication that he has.
It says, I don't know if it pertains to the trip here, but it says, good luck with your job.
You're coming here to work on somebody's farm, aren't you?
No, sir.
Why would somebody who knows that you're coming here for 90 days say good luck at your job when you haven't even worked in the Netherlands in 4 months?
bringing down today?
At the Pacific Highway border crossing,
Have a good day.
a rented SUV has been diverted into secondary for an inspection.
After I'm done with the car, I'll call you guys up. It's 7 females, Canadian. They are going down to a bachelorette party down in Seattle.
And they brought a friend.
Oh dear. Looks like they got some party stuff in the car.
And where there's a party, there are often party drugs.
I wouldn't think that there would be bulk smuggling. It's probably going to be personal use, if anything. I didn't see any narcotics, didn't see any alcohol. They're going to be released. They'll go down to Seattle. Have fun, I guess.
Is he allowed to say okay?
I'm sad to say I know exactly who you're talking about.
This is my boyfriend for the weekend, Ryan.
Ryan may be a bit deflated by the experience.
He was fuller earlier.
But for these ladies, the party is just getting started. At New York's JFK Airport mail facility,
Looks like skulls.
Is it human?
a package from the Republic of Cameroon has officers scratching their heads.
Some type of animal.
Yes, got quite a few in here. Some jaw bones.
Is it going to a person or is it going to like a research facility?
No, going to a private address.
Private address?
Yes.
Educational materials for study. Normally, something like this has to have documentation to be imported. If you don't have the correct documentation, we're going to seize your parcel every time. See, this one's dropping dirt and other items, which is not good. Dirt will carry parasites and other pests that we may not want in this country, as well as any residue from the animal itself.
The skull's final resting place will be decided after an inspection by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
What do you do for work?
Back in Detroit, a Customs and Border Protection officer confronts a Dutch traveler with information that suggests he may be planning to work illegally in the U.S.
Why would somebody who knows that you're coming here for 90 days say good luck at your job when you haven't even worked in the Netherlands in 4 months? I have absolutely no doubt in my mind what you're coming here to do. I know what you're doing. We've moved to the point to where I'm definitely sending you home. All right? You don't seem like you're too surprised.
Well, I'm gonna be surprised when I'm getting home, I think.
Okay. Do you want to tell me the truth about everything?
You're right about me wanting to work on the farm. Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't have the time to arrange the papers.
Okay. So now you'll be able to go home and you won't be able to use the ESTA program anymore, but you will be able to go to the consulate and get yourself a work visa.
Now, but now I'm actually screwed.
Why is that?
Because my dad spilled like 1,000 euros on a ticket. And I don't know.
For you to come here and do something that's against our immigration law.
Yeah.
I knew he was lying about 20 minutes into it. He didn't know I knew, but I knew. So if you lie to us, we're gonna catch you pretty much every time. My job is to catch you at the border. Okay. We only have one chance to catch you.
So I don't want to be rude, but
You can ask me whatever question you want.
can we get this over with so I can go home?
You gotta be kidding me. This is the bull that you're gonna stop me for.
There's definitely a substance in there.
Oh, what is that? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm having a hard time believing your story right now.
JFK Airport in New York City. More international travelers arrive here than any other airport in America.
Been to New York before? Yes. First time?
And US Customs and Border Protection officers are the first to greet them.
We'll definitely come right up to passengers as they literally step onto US soil. What do you do? What's your job? We'll take a look at who they are and what they're carrying.
Any money over $10,000?
If an officer isn't satisfied with the response, the traveler can expect an invitation into secondary inspection, like this Nigerian school teacher arriving from South Africa.
Suppose he's attending here for a week, attending a wedding.
When is the wedding?
On 25th.
The 25th.
Yeah. He said first he was going to stay in New York, he might stay in Philadelphia. He didn't have too many details. That is not common.
Yeah, it's supposed to be me and my wife, but because her visa was given to her late, so she couldn't come with me.
When did you buy your ticket?
When I bought my ticket. Yeah, I bought my ticket immediately I got my visa.
When was that? I'm just asking you. You don't have to look at anything. 2 days ago, 3 days ago? No, I'm not asking. I mean, I can read. I'm asking you. I'm asking you to tell me.
The date is there, sir.
I know what's here, sir.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
When did you buy your ticket?
I bought it last month.
You bought it last month? Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm having a hard time living your story right now, okay?
Detroit's Ambassador Bridge on the border with Canada is one of the busiest land crossings in the United States.
Citizenships.
Where's home for you?
Handling up to 68,000 travelers daily.
Did you shut off the vehicle for me?
Do you know anyone in the United States you're meeting up with today?
Today,
Take that, head around the side into the building where it says enter here.
a Canadian traveler's edgy attitude lands her a secondary inspection.
She's going to see some guy she hasn't seen in a long time.
She was nervous out there, man.
She was. But, I mean, there isn't anything in this car.
I'm gonna button it up anyways, have the dog run it.
Sure.
We brought her inside and started asking her some basic immigration questions about who she's seeing.
Well, I'm going to go to the airport and try to find him.
You're gonna go to the airport and try to find him.
Yes.
You don't know what flight he's on.
But I'll figure it out.
You don't know what airline he's traveling with.
What has this got to do with anything? So if I don't find him, I'm going to go back home again. What's the big deal?
Because you traveled a long way.
Well, I know I didn't. This is not a long way for me. I have traveled across your country about 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times, from Florida to California to Virginia to Colorado. This is not a long trip. This is the closest I'm going to see him. I haven't seen him for 6 years.
Okay, but the last time you spoke to him was 3 weeks ago.
Look, I'm going to be late. Either you say
Okay.
yes to me or no to me, because I'm out of here.
At JFK Airport's International Mail Facility, Customs and Border Protection officers work around the clock.
Mail comes in from foreign countries. We go through everything to determine is it legitimate or is it somebody trying to bring in contraband.
Check this out. What does it say on the package over here?
It says electronic accessories. It doesn't look like electronics.
Right, like some
Yeah.
organic material in there.
Yeah.
That one looks exactly the same.
Possibly same name.
We're gonna take those packages that we x-rayed, gonna open them up and see if we see something that shouldn't be there.
Filter.
It's a filter.
It's like a pool filter.
Yeah.
Why would they put electronic equipment? Oh, what is that?
At Detroit's Ambassador Bridge border crossing,
I haven't seen him for 6 years.
Okay, but the last time you spoke to him was 3 weeks ago.
Look, I'm going to be late.
an agitated Canadian claims she's meeting a friend at the airport, but the details of her plan seem to be up in the air.
He's supposed to be flying into the airport today, but she doesn't know when, what airlines, what flight.
Either you say yes to me or no to me, because I'm out of here.
You're not the one that determines that, ma'am. Anytime you try to get any kind of evidence or proof or specifics about her story, she becomes hostile, shuts down, stops answering. And the supervisor made the decision to have her withdraw from entry into the country.
This is ridiculous.
She became very, very verbally combative.
You're going to stop me from going across to see somebody that I couldn't see any other way because he's been in and out of country for 6 years.
Okay.
Right?
Are you done?
I'm not doing it. I'm planning on going to Florida for the winter.
For the winter?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna have problems with that.
Well, that will be up to the officer that you contact, okay? What I'm gonna give you is called a proof of ties checklist, okay? There's a whole list of information that you'll have next time you cross, you're gonna have to provide to us as proof that you're actually staying in Canada and not intending to live in the US, okay?
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope, that's what this check sheet, and this is gonna be
Have
for
I
you.
not? I mean, I've crossed this border I don't know how many times and gone back home again, and you're gonna give me this hassle? Every friggin' time I walk. You know I have a dentist in Arkansas?
Why would
They stopped me here one time because I have a dentist in Arkansas. Because I'm unconventional, because I like this dentist. I drove back and forth to Arkansas to go to a dentist because I like him.
Okay.
He did these teeth.
Okay.
You know what? They wanted to stop me because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the kind of bullshit that you're gonna stop me for.
Ma'am,
Yes.
there's plenty of people in here.
I know, but you
So
don't
it's
understand. I am like an upstanding citizen. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything.
Okay, none of that has any-
I'm not a terrorist. I am an average citizen with maybe unconventional ideas.
They're going to be doing a refusal on her. We still got the vehicle held for canine. We're going to make sure canine clears the vehicle before she's returned to Canada.
At the International Mail Facility at JFK.
Check this out. Organic material in there.
Yeah. 2 packages from China labeled electronic accessories have sparked the interest of Customs and Border Protection officers.
There you go. Oh, hey. What is that? It looks like a narcotic. It's definitely something that shouldn't be there, especially coming into a pool filter. Somebody would have to be trying to hide that.
We'll do a narcotics test kit on it, and let's see if it comes up as narcotic or
Right.
some other kind of thing.
You're gonna do the general first?
Yeah. Sample.
A narcotic will turn the test liquid yellow.
Is it? How's it looking?
Washington State's Peace Arch Park straddles the US-Canada border, and visitors don't require a passport or visa within its boundaries. But a wrong turn can land drivers in the lineup to cross the border. Today, this Vietnamese family and their tour guide planned on taking in the sights, but they've been taken into secondary instead.
Did you mean to go to that turnaround, or did you get lost and end up there?
They want to take the picture, so they think and turn around. When I go in there, I don't see the exit to turn around.
Okay.
And I have no other choice. I have to go back to the custom.
Okay. A family of 4 from Vietnam. One of the daughters is attending school in Seattle. Her relatives came to visit her. The gentleman who's the driver is not a relative. We're not quite sure what they were doing up here. They claim they were just trying to go to the park and got lost. How long are these guys going to be here from Vietnam? And you have 16th you're going back? And you have your plane tickets booked already? Okay. Did you enter Canada?
No.
You drove and turned around?
Yeah, turn around.
Did you talk to Canadian Customs at all? No. So what's your status in the United States to live here?
U.S. citizen.
You're a U.S. citizen? And whose vehicle are you guys driving?
Oh, that's better than Saturday. Toyota Prius.
Are you the owner?
Yes.
It's your car? Okay. Any alcohol or tobacco products?
No.
Any drugs or narcotics of any kind?
No.
Any prescription medications? Any over-the-counter pills?
No.
You guys can have a seat. Thank you.
Customs and Border Protection officers inspect the group's car to verify the truth.
Wait. A lot of pills I did not declare.
At JFK.
I'm asking you, when did you buy your ticket?
A Nigerian traveler tells officers he's here for his cousin's wedding.
As soon as we go through the bags, we found documentation pertaining to school and work, resume, and all that. You know where this is going. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm having a hard time living your story right now, okay?
Normally when we open the bags and we see birth certificates, diplomas, resumes, it leads us to believe that he might be possibly coming here to stay.
All right, follow this officer, get your stuff. We're gonna take you to a room here.
Yeah, why are you bringing all your certificates and your documents here?
Yeah, why are you bringing all this? There's no need for you to have this, you know that, right?
Yeah, but the reason why I took it is so that the immigration in South Africa can give me access to go.
Okay.
Yeah, because...
Listen, he handled a lot of immigration cases, so he'll tell you if that's actually true or not.
I know, but I'm telling you the way immigrations work in South Africa, most especially if you're a foreigner, the way they treat us is different from the way they treat their own citizens.
This is not required by the government of South Africa.
I said sometimes they do ask you.
But like I tell you, it's not required.
It's okay.
Okay, and the United States, we don't require none of this stuff either.
It's okay.
Unless, like I said, you're here for other things.
Yeah.
Okay? When we see this stuff, okay, people who bring this, they're not on vacation.
Maybe he is coming here to seek job employment. Will he stay here? Will he not go? That's what we're trying to determine if he's being, you know, totally honest with us.
So you want to stick to your story, or you want to tell me what's going on? Is there a wedding?
At JFK's International Mail Facility.
Yep. Oh.
A water filter from China is clogged up with what may be narcotics.
Grain of rice.
How's it looking?
Right now I'm just getting a clear still.
Clear?
Yeah.
There's a good chance it is something. You know, if it was flour or soil or something, why would they conceal it?
The test is inconclusive, so officers look to the second package for clues.
That's the same. Looks a little different. A little bit of powder, some rocks.
Yeah.
Same kind of brown, but a little lighter than
a little brown.
the first one.
A little brown.
The results are inconclusive as per the initial field test. We're gonna send it into the lab and get it tested there.
In Detroit,
And this is the kind of bullshit that you're gonna stop me for.
a car's been stalled in secondary inspection, and the Canadian driver is fuming.
They're going to be doing a refusal on her. We're going to make sure K9 clears the vehicle before she's returned to Canada.
This is ridiculous. What?
There's other people in here?
You're kidding.
The profanity?
The car is cleared, but the driver is still unhappy about the decision to turn her around.
Does this mean I'm a criminal?
Nope. This is all purely administrative.
I've never had to do this before.
No?
No. You've got to be kidding me.
All right, you can have a seat.
Maybe I'll never come back here. I won't put another dime in your I've spent more money than you can shake a stick at.
With the paperwork complete, it's a round trip back home for this cranky Canadian.
I'm 63 years old. Okay, I'm not your conventional 63, but what? So now I can't get across, and now I have to fill out this whole form and bring all this evidence back if I ever want to cross the states again. I'm absolutely pissed. This is not Homeland Security. This is bull.
They're coming here as visitors to the United States. She didn't like what happened, but coming to our house to visit. You have to act like a guest.
At JFK Airport,
People who bring this, they're not on vacation.
a traveler from Nigeria insists he's here to attend a wedding. But this reception wasn't on the invitation.
I'm gonna call the hotel, I'm gonna call your cousin, I'm gonna make some phone calls. Is there a wedding?
There is wedding.
There's a wedding. Your cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one getting married.
Okay.
A supervising officer is brought in to get his take on the story.
What are you intending to do here? My major reason of coming here is to attend my cousin's wedding. This invitation was given to me by my cousin who lives here.
To verify a story, we could call the church and we'll find out whether or not it's true or untrue for a wedding on the 25th of July.
Hello?
Hello.
According to our calendar, we don't have a wedding scheduled for this Saturday here.
Okay, so there's no wedding scheduled for July 25th, 2015.
Not according to our calendar. No, there isn't.
I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. They're not expecting anybody for a wedding on the 25th of July.
At the Peace Arch border crossing in Washington State.
Any prescription medications? Any over-the-counter pills? No.
4 Vietnamese tourists and their tour guide have lost their sense of direction.
So they didn't declare any of this.
And any memory of this bag of pills in the car.
I don't know what it's for.
When you asked about medication,
I said prescriptions. Any pills?
we're going to speak with them about the items that we found in the vehicle and see what their answers are and what we're going to do from there.
Okay, so on your declaration, when we asked you about prescription medications or over-the-counter pills, you said no.
I have no idea.
You had no idea this was in your vehicle?
Yeah, because he put on.
Do you understand when you fill out a declaration of everything that's in your vehicle when you arrive at the border, that you are responsible for all the items in your car?
Yeah, I understand
Okay,
that.
so
you know, I thought
what are
that's
these-
her personal
what-
use.
what-
That's why she bought it from Vietnam.
She brought this all from Vietnam?
Yeah, from Vietnam. She bring for on her vacation.
Okay. And it appears that everything is in its original packaging. It doesn't appear that there's anything that she's mixed together. Okay, guys, come on up. Okay, here's the spec. So in the future, if you come to the border like this and you do complete this form or a declaration, you need to be aware and responsible for everything in your vehicle, okay? Another thing I'm going to tell you guys today is you're very lucky that you did not make entry into Canada, because if you did, this would be a different situation, okay? The fortunate thing for these guys today is that they actually didn't make it into Canada. They stayed within the United States, so they're not applicants for admission. That changes the dynamic of their document requirements.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day, guys. Bye-bye. We found nothing derogatory as far as invalidating their status of, you know, what they were admitted, how they've been staying here. So that pretty much ends the story for us.
At New York's JFK Airport, a traveler from Nigeria vows that he's in the US to attend a wedding.
Okay, so there's no wedding scheduled for July 25th, 2015.
Not according to our calendar.
But the church listed on the invitation has no knowledge of the planned nuptials.
They're not expecting anybody for a wedding on the 25th of July. I appreciate your time.
Meanwhile,
This is the officials in immigration here in JFK.
another officer calls the traveler's American cousin.
You having any family members come into the United States? What's his name? What is the purpose of his trip? When is the wedding? Where is the wedding located at?
The cousin confirms the wedding plans, and a call to the hotel confirms the venue.
All right, thank you. Hotel said they have a whole thing scheduled.
We made a call to the hotel where the event's supposed to take place.
The hotel said they have the event there. Got the reception and all that.
It was the time of the event. It also told us that the person was actually checking in, and the day was checking out, which matched his flight itinerary. The church could have been a miscommunication problem. So when we put all that together, he was telling us the truth, as far as we're concerned.
The traveler is cleared to enter the United States and attend the wedding.
He said that he brought in the documents pertaining to school and work to get out of the country. Those two documents are not required.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, thank you.
The immigration officers are trying to do their job, you know, so there is nothing special about it. It's a wonderful thing coming to see America.
they'll try different ways how to smuggle it in. They look like bales of marijuana.
Well, you are nervous. Well, what's the reason why you're nervous?
That's all I want to know is the truth. Yes or no?
The truth is this.
New York City. It's big, it's busy, and it's got an airport to match. Every day, thousands of travelers flood in from all over the world.
You have your passport.
And Customs and Border Protection officers are on the lookout for any bad apples headed for the Big Apple.
What we look for is people that bring in contraband into the country.
Any food products in here?
What do you have in here, a body? Everybody is subject to search. We're going to look for nervousness. Got it right down the line. Just send it in to us.
How long were we there?
And what was the reason for your trip?
We understand that people are nervous when they go through the process here, but we're looking for that extra bit of nervousness.
Today, officers pull aside a traveler returning from a short trip to Colombia with a conspicuously large amount of luggage.
You brought all this stuff with you when you went down?
Yeah, basically my wear. Yeah, and right here I have some gifts for my wife, for my sister.
Oh, all right. Why didn't your wife go with you?
Because she's in here with my son.
Oh, all right.
This guy is looking like a lead.
This traveler is acting nervous. His carotid artery is pulsating. His hands were shaking a little bit. So you want to find out why. What was the purpose of your trip?
It's a vacation.
When was the last time you were there before this trip?
3 years, maybe.
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
And where'd you go, Colombia?
Yeah.
He's coming from a source country for narcotics. When did you buy your ticket to go down there on this trip?
Friday.
When did you leave?
Friday or Thursday.
When did you leave?
Sunday.
Well, so this was a last-minute trip?
Yes.
Usually when people buy tickets quick like that, kind of sends up a red flag. What was the rush? What was the urgency? Why?
Because they just give me vacation for 5 days.
You don't get like a vacation ahead of time?
No.
You have the credit card on you that you paid for?
Yes, I do. Is something wrong?
Well, you are nervous already.
Yeah, well...
Well, what's the reason why you're nervous?
At Detroit's Metro Airport,
Can I see you guys' passports, please?
2 passengers arriving on a flight from Nigeria are being pulled into secondary inspection.
So how long are you guys coming to the United States for today?
September 11th.
September 11th. Have you ever been to the United States before?
She has not been, but I've been in the United States.
Okay, so this is your first time?
The first time, yeah.
The passengers stated that they were coming to the United States to visit his brother for a couple weeks. The primary officer noticed a lot of inconsistencies and wanted further inspection. You stated to a previous officer that you were expecting, is that correct?
Yes.
And so how far along are you, ma'am?
4 weeks because I just got to know.
You said you're 4 weeks?
16 weeks.
10 weeks?
16.
Oh, 16 weeks. How much money are you guys traveling with today?
Okay, when we add everything up.
Currently, yes.
Okay, so that will come to 15,980.
15,000.
980.
980. So when you travel with more than 10,000, this is what you have to fill out? When he's done filling that form out, we're gonna look at your guys' luggage, and if everything is good to go, we'll have you on your way, all right? Thank you. Do you have any medical paperwork saying how far along you are? Do you have ultrasounds on you? Do you have any letters? And the reason I ask this is when you travel from another country and you get on a plane, normally you need approval from your doctor saying so-and-so can travel. So do you have that with you? So when I asked you how far along you were, you told me 16 weeks, correct?
Yes.
Paper's telling me 25 weeks. So I want to ask you why the inconsistencies.
Back in New York City,
Hey, go ahead straight across. Just put your blue on.
Customs and Border Protection officers are searching for contraband on a flight from the Caribbean.
We enforce custom law. We have a mobile x-ray van that we're going to utilize to take a good x-ray of all the bags 100% coming off of this flight. We look for contraband, drugs, weapons, anything out of the ordinary.
A lot of these flights are notorious for bringing in food. This looks like it's molasses. Usually what we're looking for out here is nice big bricks.
Down the line, an officer thinks he may have a hit.
They're gonna have to take a look at that. They look like bales of marijuana. You gotta go in and you gotta probe and you gotta cut them open.
That's like a leafy kind of smell to it.
At New York City's JFK Airport.
You brought all this stuff with you when you went down?
Yeah.
Officers are examining a tense traveler returning from a short trip to Colombia.
He's coming from a source country for narcotics.
Is something wrong?
Well, you are nervous already.
Yeah, well...
What's the reason why you're nervous?
I never had any trouble.
You don't have a problem now. This is what we do.
Oh, I know.
This is our job.
I understand.
And we search your bags, we talk to you. This is part of our border search authority that we have, you know? Anybody that comes into the country, you're always subject to search, you know? And you do seem a little nervous.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, this is serious for me.
Right.
I'm nervous because, never something like this.
Right.
That's why.
Did anybody give you anything to bring into the airport?
No, I bought all the things.
Your wife knows you're coming here today?
Of course. She's outside waiting for me.
Okay. And you stayed with your parents the whole time you were there?
I did.
Who took you to the airport?
My sister.
Everything checked out. His story seemed to make sense. His bags didn't contain any contraband, so he was released.
Well, today was my turn. I had a lot of baggage just for me, and it was just a 5-day trip. So, maybe something suspicious about this, but I had a lot of presents. I have a big car, actually. Well, in a little wallet,
Two-thirds of all international mail entering the United States arrives at JFK's International Mail Center.
Mail branch here, we go through a lot of parcels from different countries, and we're trying to find pharmaceuticals, drugs.
Today,
I'm gonna send this one back.
Customs and Border Protection officers take a second look at a package from India.
It doesn't look right. There's something in there. X-ray shows some anomalies in there. Something that's glowing. We're gonna take a closer look. The package is manifested as men's toiletries.
But the items appear to be doorstops.
Yeah, there's something in there. Look at this.
At Detroit's Metro Airport.
So when I asked you how far along you were, you told me 16 weeks, correct?
Yes.
Paper's telling me 25 weeks. So I want to ask you why the inconsistencies.
When asked about her due date, a pregnant traveler from Nigeria is failing to deliver.
The language in there stated that she was 25, 26 weeks pregnant. When you go to the doctor and you're expecting, this is her first child, that's a date that you would know. It's very hard for me to believe that you did not know you were 25 weeks pregnant. Very hard for me to believe. It's possible that you were nervous to tell me that, and that's okay, but I would like you to be honest with me. Did you know that you were 25 weeks pregnant, yes or no?
The truth is this. To me, the doctor told me that there's been 5 weeks.
The doctor told you that you were 25 weeks?
Yes, but to me, I know I'm 16 weeks.
Okay. So,
Calculation, because I calculated.
So when I asked you twice how far along you were, and not once did you tell me that the doctor thinks you're 25 weeks, but you think you're 16 weeks. Little strange. I'm just trying to get the full story, okay? If you're traveling to the United States, okay, and you happen to give birth in the United States, it's legal. You can give birth in the United States, okay? But you have to have a way to pay for it. You understand? So insurance is my first question. Do you have insurance that covers the birth, you? There's no insurance that you have currently that will cover maternity care?
No.
Okay. Do you intend to have the baby in the United States? And it's okay if you do. I just want to know the truth. Now that we're telling each other the truth, that's all I want to know is the truth. Do you intend to have the baby in the United States, yes or no?
New York City.
Has like a leafy kind of smell to it.
Luggage from a known drug source country has officers cutting into some potential balls of bud.
They look like bales of marijuana.
The ball this size of marijuana, that's a lot. Yeah. Not marijuana.
It's not bales of marijuana. I want it being bales of tea leaf. But you gotta go in, you gotta cut them open.
I want to make sure that they're not going to try to sneak one in there, you know, one bad one mixed in with all the good ones. Looks like we got something in the middle there.
At JFK Airport's International Mail Center.
Yeah, there's something in there.
Customs and Border Protection officers are prying open a shipment of doorstops from India.
Oh, wow. Let me get the soup.
Okay. What do you got? We just saw something strange in the X-ray. We opened them up, and someone cut a little bit at the end of it, and we saw some powder coming out of there. Right now, we're just gonna field test it. You have enough in there?
Yes.
So based on the color system that's right on the package, we're gonna see what kind of substance that we have. It's testing positive for heroin.
At the Peace Arch border crossing in northern Washington state, long lineups are just part of the job.
When's the last time you came to the States?
Nexus is a trusted traveler program that allows low-risk travelers to cross the border easily.
Have a good night, guys.
As long as you follow the rules. Something this Canadian Nexus member is learning about the hard way.
Do you have any questions about your declaration today?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the dollar value of all these things that I'm bringing down. I'm bringing it down on behalf of a friend for his wife.
And what is your friend's wife doing in the United States?
She's a U.S. resident. He's a Canadian resident.
Okay. This traveler's a Nexus member. He's a part of the Trusted Traveler program, and he is transporting goods of someone else that is not present. So these were goods that he had in his home that he's letting her use in the U.S. home?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
and they're food stuff as well.
May I see this list?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. How long have you been a member of the Nexus program?
Well before 9/11.
So a part of the Nexus program is Nexus members are unable to transport for other people. It is a violation of the Nexus rules and regulations to transport third-party goods. There is a possibility that this traveler will lose his Nexus privileges.
In New York City, officers examining what appeared to be a ball of bud have uncovered a surprise stash.
It's not bales of marijuana. I want it being bales of tea leaf. But you gotta go in, you gotta cut them open.
You got something in the middle there. You never know what kind of surprise you're going to get inside there. We've had combinations of cocaine and heroin coming in together. Some kind of meat. That would be an agricultural violation. You're not allowed to bring in meat from certain countries. So they wanted to bypass that, and they figured that we'd open up maybe one or two and not find anything and then say, "Ah, have a nice day."
Meat, pork, items such as pork, very bad for the U.S. Comes in with diseases, it can affect our economy. So they'll try different ways how to smuggle it in. They got a little creative with bringing in their meat, their delicacy, and they put the meat in the middle.
And now, every time they travel, their bags are going to be looked at because they're a previous violator.
We'll pass the name on to the officers on the inside of the terminal. They'll see the agricultural specialists, they'll get the passenger, and they're going to be fine because that's actually smuggling.
Detroit, an expectant couple from Nigeria have yet to reveal the real reason for their visit.
Do you intend to have the baby in the United States, yes or no?
We're going back on September 11th.
Okay.
And with no insurance to cover the hospital fees, the $15,000 the couple declared is cause for concern.
10,000 of that currency isn't negotiable. It's a check that was not endorsed, so he's actually traveling with $5,000. The check that you're traveling with, you have to understand, I don't know if that $10,000 exists. I don't know if there is $10,000 in that account.
I don't know too.
This is what I believe.
Okay.
I believe that you are coming to the United States to have a baby. I'm okay with that. It's perfectly legal. But if you are deceitful about it, if you cannot pay for that birth, then that's where my issues are. This amount of currency is not going to cover the birth of a child. You understand?
Hello, your passport?
At the Peace Arch border crossing in Blaine, Washington.
Nexus members are unable to transport for other people.
A Canadian Nexus cardholder's good deed goes sideways when he's pulled in for transporting someone else's stuff into the U.S.
May I see your keys, please? All right, if you'd like to have a seat on the bench, thank you. It's her household stuff that he's sending, random food items, a juicer, toilet paper. Upon searching the vehicle today, we have found the household goods that he stated were listed.
But aside from the declared items, the vehicle is clean.
Good. We will be documenting the Nexus violation. All right, so I'm gonna have you hold on to that, okay? So this is gonna be a denial of entry notice for the goods that are in the vehicle, okay? So household goods present with insufficient documentation, so there's no entry on these items without the owner present. I'm not going to revoke your Nexus today or keep your card. I'm gonna allow you to keep it, but we do have to notate it, okay?
I was trying to help a friend out who needed help, so now that I know, I'll be more careful and I'll let my friends know.
And I'll meet you by the ramp that goes up. Only transport the goods that are yours. Follow all the rules and regulations of the Trusted Traveler program at all times and adhere to them, or you risk losing those privileges. Have a good day.
At JFK Airport's International Mail Center.
That's testing positive for heroin.
Customs and Border Protection officers have locked on a shipment jammed with heroin.
Try to get a weight on it, so we're gonna have to take, what we're gonna have to do is just somehow take all the part of this out of these containers.
Well, right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to extract the heroin out of the capsules here. The reason we have to wear a mask is because it's, first of all, it's a hard narcotic. This is heroin. We don't want to get contaminated one bit. We can free it from the plastic a little, and then gently pull it out. We put it on the scale, and it comes to 326 grams. It's a lot of heroin. It's a great find. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna finish up the seizure report, notify HSI, open up an investigation, and we're gonna see where it takes us.
At Detroit's Metro Airport.
So here's my problem.
An officer is concerned a couple from Nigeria is hiding more than their baby's due date.
This amount of currency is not going to cover the birth of a child. You understand? I don't believe that you actually thought you're 16 weeks. I believe that you knew you were 25 weeks, so I want to know why you were not honest with me about that. I really want to talk about that, okay? This is the time to be very honest with me. Were you afraid?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and that's fine. This is a very nervous interview. I understand that. So you were dishonest about being 16 weeks because you were nervous. You knew you were 25 weeks. We're on a fresh slate now. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Do you plan on having the baby in Michigan? That's fine. And how are you going to pay for it? And we can move on.
Okay.
So answer the questions, please.
Fine.
Yes.
So if she can have a baby in Michigan,
yes.
Fine.
Okay.
If we can pay for it. But
Very
if we
good.
cannot pay for it, then we leave.
Okay, very good. Was that your intention when you guys traveled from Nigeria? You knew that, is that right? You knew that that's what was going to happen?
Yeah, we knew it.
Okay, were you nervous to tell me that?
Yeah, because we didn't know what.
No problem. Listen, I appreciate you telling me the truth.
What are they gonna do with us? You know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna move to the next step. We'll figure it out. We're just one step at a time. What we're gonna do now is bring them to the admissibility enforcement unit. They're gonna further the inspection. And just follow me, guys.
You got to see if there's anything else that he might be hiding.
Oh, they got a bunch.
Stand back against the wall. So now they're wanting to extradite me. Explain to them that we're gonna take them to a private room.
You got a probe?
Detroit, the largest American city on the US-Canada border. It's home to the busiest land crossing in North America, the Ambassador Bridge. And when a long weekend hits, the bridge gets slammed.
Where's home for you?
Today, US Customs and Border Protection officers are dealing with a flood of Labor Day travelers.
Where are you headed? What do you do for work?
Officers don't just protect the border, they enforce the law. An American returning from Canada is handcuffed when officers discover he has an outstanding warrant on auto theft charges.
Have you had any problems with the police before?
Yeah. I've obstructed several times being alcohol involved.
Do you have anything outstanding that you know of right now?
Outstanding in California, yes.
Okay, you got a California warrant?
Yes.
He has an outstanding warrant for his arrest for auto theft. All right, sir, go ahead and spread your feet. Head against the wall. It happens on holiday weekends a lot. People travel international to go see family. They may have issues with law enforcement.
All right, is there anything on you you shouldn't have? Any drugs, weapons, anything like that?
No, sir.
All right.
If it's a local agency, we usually turn them over to the local agency. And like this, if it's cross-country and they're willing to extradite, we'll turn them over to whatever jurisdiction has their warrant. You okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just passing the time?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's out of California, so we're gonna have to contact California right now. And if they're willing to extradite him, we'll set him up to be extradited.
At the JFK International Mail Facility, Customs and Border Protection officers examine up to 500,000 parcels every day.
We look for drugs, we look for counterfeit items, a lot of pharmaceuticals, and potential radioactive materials that could come in and harm the United States.
I see something of concern.
Today, a package from Turkey is lighting up the X-ray machine.
It looks to be little individual glass or vials or something, and I'd like to take a better look at it.
And it's not just one package, it's dozens.
I'm seeing a lot of the same packaging with the same small little vials in all of these. They're all the same type of envelope, come from the same origin. So I'm going to take it back and examine it and ask my supervisor for some assistance.
Every day, thousands of vehicles cross from Canada to the US through the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel.
Where are you coming from?
Any weapons or narcotics?
And when they do, they land in the heart of the city and the hands of Customs and Border Protection.
Anything to declare coming back?
To keep things moving, the Nexus program allows pre-approved, low-risk travelers access to dedicated lanes.
If somebody comes down that line and they don't have a Nexus card for themselves and everybody else in the vehicle, they automatically get referred.
Like this American couple, returning from a 3-day trip to Ontario.
It's your wife?
Yes.
Okay, where'd y'all go?
We went to Toronto.
We're going to run some routine checks on them. We're going to search their vehicle, see if there's anything prohibited inside.
I'm gonna have to look at this real good. Is there any clothes in the car?
I didn't see any.
That doesn't make any sense.
None in here.
3-day vacation, no clothes. Exotic fish. I don't know, they got a bunch.
At JFK in New York, a flight from a known drug source country touches down, and Customs and Border Protection officers are on the lookout for suspicious behavior.
That's it. You're all set. Okay?
Where's he live around here?
A shaky first impression lands this permanent resident in secondary inspection.
He's going to spend a couple days with her, and then he's going back to Philadelphia.
This gentleman's exhibiting some pretty nervous behavior outside.
Maybe tomorrow I go
¿Y cómo llegas a Philadelphia?
en la guagua, la guaguita.
Taking a bus back to Philly, maybe tomorrow.
How much money's he got with him?
¿Se trae dinero efectivo?
Sí, traigo ahí
¿Cuánto?
como 500 y algo.
$500.
What's his job?
He said he changes tires.
Let me see your hands, like this. Okay. He's a very frequent traveler between New York and elsewhere in the Caribbean. Explain to him that we're gonna take him to a private room. He's acting a little nervous. In the totality of things, he reflects somebody that might well indeed be a courier of narcotics.
In downtown Detroit,
Is there any clothes in the car?
I didn't see any.
an American couple returns from a 3-day trip to Canada with no clothes and some cold-blooded companions.
Looks like exotic fish. I don't know, they got a bunch. 1, 2, 3.
Do you know if he declared those?
No. Party said he had nothing declared.
You got a stun gun.
Got a taser?
Yeah.
He didn't declare any of this stuff.
It appears the officers have even bigger fish to fry.
These are prohibited. It's against federal law to come into the U.S. They're prohibited in Michigan unless you have a permit for them. So we'll talk to the passenger, see if he has any type of license or permit for this.
How come you didn't declare the taser to the officer when he asked you if you had anything to declare?
I look at it wasn't a weapon at all.
So what do you do with the taser?
It's for protective, if something happens, I got something to defend myself.
A taser requires a license to carry a concealed weapon in the state of Michigan.
Like, are you allowed to carry concealed?
Not me, I don't carry concealed.
Anytime you cross the border, the burden of proof is on you, so you got to declare all that stuff. So now we have to look into you further because we got an issue.
So far, the traveler hasn't been upfront or honest with us, so we got to see if there's anything else that he might be hiding.
At JFK's International Mail Facility, one questionable X-ray leads officers to dozens of packages with suspicious glass vials.
So I'm going to take it back and examine it and ask my supervisor for some assistance. Look, some vials, little bottles in here, coming from Turkey.
Criveloban is a type of anabolic steroid. These are a controlled substance prohibited in the United States. The packages you got, we'll open them up, we'll see what each one has. Someone would smuggle anabolic steroids. People like bodybuilders use performance-enhancing drugs. They'll import them to use them. So far, most of these parcels are steroids. In addition to the vials, there are steroids in pill form, which we are encountering here as well.
Yes, quite a load here.
Today we seized 25 manila envelopes that contained anabolic steroids. They won't be making their way to the recipients. They will be held here until they are destroyed.
At the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit.
Do you have anything outstanding that you know of right now?
California, yes.
Okay, you got a California warrant?
Yes.
An outstanding arrest warrant on auto theft charges lands an American traveler in a Customs and Border Protection cell.
We're gonna have to contact Sheriff's Department out in California right now, and if they're willing to extradite him, we'll set him up to be extradited out to California.
Good luck getting one.
And being a long weekend, that may be a tall order.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Yep.
California advising release?
They don't know yet.
Because it's a holiday weekend.
If officers don't hear back from California soon, the American could be spending the holiday weekend in Customs and Border Protection custody.
Just let me know when they call back.
Okay.
Find out if we're gonna extradite him or not.
In Detroit, an American couple sparks the interest of Customs and Border Protection officers with their undeclared taser, exotic fish, and lack of clothing.
So far, the traveler hasn't been upfront or honest with us, so we got to see if there's anything else that he might be hiding. Have a seat and then just remove your shoes.
Shoes?
Yep.
Pat down, negative.
But some unanswered questions remain.
So you didn't have any clothes the whole time you were there on vacation?
I didn't change.
You didn't change for 3 days, huh?
I don't need to change. We're senior citizens. We're not looking for looking for young girls or anything like that.
All right, just follow us back out to the lobby.
With the clothes situation ironed out, officers turn their attention to the fishy cargo.
What's up with exotic fish? Where did you buy the fish from?
Inside Canada, like a mall.
After doing research, we've been able to determine that the fish are allowed to come into the U.S. No special permits or anything like that is needed. The stun gun is prohibited. If you would have left our area here and we didn't find this and Detroit police would have stopped you and found it, they would have probably arrested you for a misdemeanor. Yeah, you're not going to be able to bring it in. So after we seize the stun gun, the passenger will be free to leave with this fish.
I would never come through here with any of those things again. I'll make sure of that.
35% of the fresh produce consumed in the US is imported from other countries. But before it gets to the plate, it's cleared by Customs and Border Protection's agricultural specialists.
We make sure that they have no insect pests or plant diseases which could potentially harm American agriculture.
At JFK Airport, a specialist is bugging out over a shipment of herbs from Colombia.
We're going to inspect about 10% of the shipment and see if there's any insects that came along for the ride. Could I see 2 basil, 1 tarragon, 1 more mint, and rosemary? Okay. And we'll start with the mint.
A foreign pest released into the US could potentially decimate an entire agricultural industry.
So I found a Tetranicus mite. It's right here in this little circle. It is something that we would need to fumigate so that they do not get introduced into U.S. agriculture. Once they become established, they're very difficult to control and eradicate. Oh, so this one is actually quite pretty. Might be a hitchhiker, he's a leafhopper. They actually jump very high. We'll pack this one up and move on to our next commodity. If the pests found on the herbs are deemed to be harmful, then we're going to send them over to fumigation so that the insects are no longer a threat.
Back inside the terminal,
Explain to him that we're gonna take him to a private room.
a U.S. permanent resident arriving from the Dominican Republic has a nervous demeanor and a questionable travel history.
In the totality of things, he reflects somebody that might well indeed be a courier of narcotics. This guy apparently spends more time in the DR a year than he does in the United States, correcto?
¿Usted vive más en Santo Domingo de aquí en los Estados Unidos?
No, vivo más aquí.
¿Más aquí? ¿Con quién? ¿Con quién vives?
Aquí vivo más o menos cuando estoy trabajando solo.
¿Usted vive solo?
Cuando comienzo a trabajar, sí.
What a one-way ticket.
One-way ticket cash 6 days ago.
Ask him how he got the ticket.
He said he went to an agency, but he doesn't remember where or the name.
Tell him if he's not involved with narcotics, he's got no problems.
Si tú no estás metido en eso, no tienes problema.
Gracias a Dios.
But if he has narcotics, we're gonna find it.
Pero si lo tienes, nosotros nos vamos a dar cuenta.
He stated that he had nothing, which we hear all the time on people that do have drugs. I'm gonna check his suitcase a second time over, just so that we make sure that we didn't possibly miss anything in the bag. You got a probe?
At the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit,
California advising release?
They don't know yet.
Customs and Border Protection officers wait to hear back from Californian authorities to find out if this American should be extradited.
Just let me know when they call back.
Okay.
But because it's the Labor Day weekend, the traveler may have to spend the holiday in custody.
The Sheriff's Department out in California was contacted. Being a holiday weekend, they weren't able to do a timely extradition and set up the paperwork. So what they've done is they've set up a new court date. Stand back against the wall. Heard back from California. I'm gonna fill you in a little more about it. Because honestly, they did want you. They wanted to extradite you back to California, but it was a holiday weekend, so they weren't able to get the paperwork filed for extradition. So what they did is they set up a new court date for you.
So now they're wanting to extradite me, is what you're telling me?
No, they wanted to, but they weren't able to.
I got you.
He's being released, so it's up to him and his responsibility to show up for that court date. So let me grab your stuff for you and we'll get you out of here, all right? If you may or may not have outstanding warrants, turn yourself into law enforcement. That way you don't run into these type of issues when you're returning to the U.S.
I understand. I definitely take care of it.
Oh, I've got a lot of anxiety right now. I'm going to attempt to make my court date, and I'm going to hire a lawyer.
Sir, can I see your passport?
At JFK International Airport.
But if he has narcotics, we're gonna find it.
This traveler's nervous behavior and frequent flights within the Caribbean have officers wondering if he's smuggling drugs.
I'm gonna check his suitcase a second time over. You got a probe?
The bag search reveals nothing suspicious. But the officers aren't finished their examination.
He has to tell me, okay, if he did something, if he swallowed something before he got on the flight.
The possibility of an internal concealment brings a supervising officer into the investigation.
I'm worried about your health,
Él está preocupado por tu salud.
okay?
Por eso te está chequeando.
Tu corazón, okay? Porque algunas personas tragan drogas aquí en Estados Unidos. ¿Entiende?
Sí, señor.
You understand English, I know that.
Yeah, I understand.
So now I'm gonna speak to you in English and I want you to understand me, okay? When people make a mistake and they tell me, I help them. If they lie to me and I take them for an X-ray and it shows every single thing inside your body, at that point, I cannot help you anymore. Usted necesita ayuda para mí. ¿Sí?
Bueno, yo no tengo nada. Usted hace lo que usted quiera, conveniente. Yo no tengo problema de ningún tipo.
Usted no tomar nada?
Nada.
Okay.
No, señor.
Where I was starting to talk about narcotics, I didn't see the reaction, which would be a thumping heartbeat and that carotid artery pounding along with the heartbeat pumping. Where was he yesterday?
His ex-wife and the kids.
All right, ask him for his wife's phone number. We gave her a call. She verified his whole story. He didn't have a phone. Typically, if someone's going to smuggle contraband into the United States, they're going to have to make a phone call when they get out of here.
Gracias.
Speaking to him about his travel, I didn't think that he was smuggling narcotics into the United States.
Close to 1 million US green cards are issued every year.
You guys are immigrating today? Oh, very good. Congrats.
So when Customs and Border Protection isn't busting bad guys, they're helping good people settle into their new home.
Filipino family coming in from the Philippines. They were immigrating. It was a mother and her 2 children. You guys live in the Philippines, and now you're coming to live here, right? Very good. Do you have family here, friends? Your father lives here? Did your father petition for you guys?
Yep.
Is your dad American? Naturalized. Naturalized? So he's lived in the U.S. since 2008. Is he working here? Wow. And so you've been in the Philippines and he's been here? Wow. Come to find out, they've been living apart from their father. So this would be a very good change for you guys, right? You guys be all together again? It's exciting. We're gonna process your paperwork here today. They had all the correct paperwork and they're reuniting with their family. This is something that they're gonna remember forever. Well, once we stamp this, it's official, so I'll let you stamp it here. Go on. There you go. Your turn. Come on. Yep. Very good. All right, guys, follow me. Let's get you out of here.
Welcome to the U.S.
Yep.
Their green card will be arriving in the mail in a few weeks. But this family's new life in the USA begins right now.
All right, take care of Mom.
We've been married for 21 years, but it's the first time to be here in the United States. They have their green card right now.
We're excited to know more about the United States, and of course we get to bond with that every day.
You know, on a daily basis, we're searching for people doing wrong, but they're gonna cherish the stamp on their passport, so it's kind of nice. You're nervous, you just got out of high school. I have a hard time believing that they're not gonna pay you.
Yeah? Show me what. What is that?
Excuse me. Can I see your backpack, please? We're gonna extract cocaine.
New York City's John F. Kennedy Airport. Flights from over 50 countries regularly land here.
Where are you coming from?
¿Trae comida en su maleta o no?
Adios. That way.
And Customs and Border Protection officers are ready to search for contraband the moment the plane hits the gate.
We're the passenger enforcement roving team. We're just going to go up and do what we call a bypass on this flight. This flight's coming in from a known source country for narcotics.
3 lines, please. Have your passports out and ready, please. Thank you.
We're looking for nervousness, body language, people trying to avoid inspection.
What was the purpose of your trip? Who you visit down there?
Want to do this one, Frank?
A recent surge of drugs concealed in backpacks has officers on heightened alert.
This is all your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Did you pack this bag yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people are legitimate travelers. We're looking for that 1% that is not. You never know until you stop and talk and look.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now we're going to go meet the flight by the baggage carousel, and maybe we can get a second look at anybody that might look interesting over here. Yeah, there's no waiting here.
Another officer spies a suspicious traveler from the same flight.
Follow me. I saw a gentleman had a backpack. Brought him to the baggage control area. Searched the backpack. I saw an unusual thickness on the side panels. As soon as I probed it, a white powdery substance was in the probe.
Where's home for you?
How long will you be in the States on this trip?
Any fresh fruits or vegetables in the car?
At Washington State's Peace Arch border crossing.
Where do you live? I live in Whitehorse, Yukon.
A Canadian heading south has been taken into secondary inspection to answer more questions.
I'm traveling for a friend. I'm delivering a car to Quebec, and I figured going through the States would be a bit quicker.
Whose vehicle is this?
It's a friend of mine. He lives in Dawson City. He's stuck there for the winter, and he wanted his car on the East Coast.
So you're just like, I'll take it to you?
Yeah, I thought I'd give him a favor, and it's kind of a win-win for the both of us.
What do you do for work?
I'm a carpenter in Whitehorse.
Seems fairly odd just to leave everything behind to just drop on the other side of the country to do somebody a favor. So how are you getting back home?
That's the thing. I was thinking about hitchhiking back.
We got to look into it a little bit more and see what's going on, and maybe he's not telling us something. Do you happen to have anything that says it's okay for you to travel with his vehicle down here?
Every day, an estimated 12,000 vehicles line up at the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel.
Where are you coming from?
You unlock the back?
But some get in line by mistake.
We get people that get lost in Detroit and just zig when they should have zagged. That happens a lot. They don't realize they're going to Canada until the last second.
Like this American, whose clouded sense of direction has landed him in secondary inspection.
Just shut it off, all right?
There's a little U-turn area, and the driver never made entry into Canada.
Even if it's by accident, once a person attempts to exit the United States, they are subject to a search.
Any weapons of any kind in the vehicle?
Oh, no, I ain't never.
Okay.
Any weed on you? No.
I asked you once if you had anything. Is there anything in the vehicle I need to know about?
The driver had a little bit of marijuana in his pockets.
I didn't know that was in there, I swear. I had to put on my jeans and I left the house. You guys know going down those stops right there, okay?
Right in that door? Secondary or office?
Now, Customs and Border Protection officers have a budding concern for what else might be in the car.
Whole car smells like weed.
Every autumn, over 1 million international students come to the US to attend college.
So this is your first time to the US, right?
But if they fail this exam, they could be expelled.
What's the purpose of your trip today? Why are you here?
In Detroit, officers pull aside a 19-year-old traveler from Switzerland.
All right, just walk through there. This traveler was being referred due to the time of year. We're having a lot of students. This traveler was 19 years old, perfect age to possibly go to school here, but he didn't have a student visa. How much money are you traveling with today?
I have 70 cash and then I have credit cards.
70 cash, credit cards, okay. So you said you just got done with high school?
Yes.
The traveler was very, very nervous, and we just needed to further investigate. Are you going to be going to school while you're here?
No.
What about a university, a college? When does that start?
That starts
Because doesn't that start
January next year.
When the initial officer talked to you, they said, "Why are you coming to the U.S.?"
Yes.
You said what?
I'm here to visit friends and go on a holiday.
Okay. Were you totally honest with that officer?
Not entirely.
At New York's JFK Airport,
Did you pack this bag yourself?
a flight from the Caribbean has Customs and Border Protection officers on the alert for drugs concealed in backpacks.
Just follow me. As soon as I probed it, a white powdery substance was in the probe. I took the passenger inside to a search room for further examination and also to test the white powdery substance. That's from the backpack. 904 spoke cocaine, and that's when it comes out positive. We field tested it positive for cocaine.
The passenger is placed under arrest for alleged importation of narcotics into the United States.
The passenger was taken upstairs to HSI and for federal prosecution.
That leaves officers to assess the size of the stash.
Right now, we're going to extract the packages of the backpack to get the final weight.
It's coming on, it's coming on.
When was the last time you were in the States?
At the Peace Arch land crossing on the border with Canada, a Canadian plans on driving his friend's car through the US.
Do you happen to have anything that says it's okay for you to travel with his vehicle down here?
Maybe we should get a hold of him or something.
Well, that's something you should have done before.
Yeah, I know.
But go ahead and fill that out first, and we'll figure it out.
Yep. U.S. street address, like destination.
Are you stopping anywhere in the U.S.?
Yeah, if you give me like a map, I could come up with a street address, I guess. But
Well, I don't want you to make something up.
yeah, I
make
just
something
don't know
up.
right off the bat here. I don't have it in mind.
Okay, just for now, put Seattle, Washington, and then we'll get to the other part later. Okay?
Sounds good.
Ever been arrested before? Never?
I've had a speeding ticket once. Does that count?
Did they put handcuffs on you until you were arrested?
No.
Then you weren't arrested. Is there any firearms, alcohol, or tobacco in there?
No.
Is there any prescription medications in there?
No.
Any narcotics of any kind?
No.
Any medicinal marijuana?
No.
Recreational?
No.
Do you take full responsibility of everything inside that vehicle?
Yeah, some of the stuff is his. I didn't look through it all, but I'm sure it's clean.
He signed off on the declaration saying, I take full responsibility. So since you are crossing the federal border, and you got to know what you're traveling with. We'll look into it and see what we got.
At New York City's JFK International Mail Facility, the search for contraband has a canine component.
I'm in the canine unit with my dog Brie, and what we're doing is looking for anything that might be of agriculture concern coming internationally into our country. That one there, yeah? Ooh, very nice. Okay, let's take a look. So, we'll put a couple down on the floor here. Let's go find it, okay? Let's go find it. Now, her hesitation means that there's something. We've got 2 boxes here. Brie, find it. Which one? Which one is it? Let's see. Is it this one? Is it this one? Go back over there. Okay, good. So she sat in front of that one. Let's open. All right. In this case, it says that it's manifested as books, and this particular parcel is coming from Israel. So we're going to take a look at what we got. Wow.
In Detroit.
So you said you just got done with high school?
Yes.
A young Swiss traveler arrives at the start of the school year, but claims he's only here for a 2-month vacation.
I'm here to visit friends and go on a holiday.
Okay. Were you totally honest with that officer?
Not entirely.
It don't take a genius to figure out what's going on here.
Yes.
You're nervous.
Yes.
You just got out of high school. You're coming to the U.S. for 2 months.
Yeah.
Right? So what are you really here to come to do?
I'm here to intern.
Intern.
As well.
Okay. So why didn't you tell the officer that?
Because I don't know.
Who are you interning with?
The same company that my dad worked for.
Who paid for your trip?
My parents.
Your parents did? Okay. They know you're interning here?
Yes.
Did you bring resumes? Did you bring certificates? Did you bring anything like that for them? No? We just needed to further investigate if he was getting paid, etc. Is it a paid internship?
No.
It's not. What are you going to be doing? IT. Is there someone in the U.S. that currently does that position?
Well, there's a colleague, yeah.
I'd have to imagine with IT, there's really no...
Well, you...
Because it doesn't sound like...
decommission computers.
It doesn't sound like you're going to be looking over his shoulder. It sounds like you're actually be doing the work, to be quite honest.
Some of the work, yes.
Yeah, sure. And he gets paid to do that, right?
Yes.
But you're not going to get paid to do that?
No, it's just purely for work experience.
Okay.
40 hours a week, Monday through Friday?
No.
9 to 5 kind of a thing?
No, they said they were flexible in the times I work.
I have a hard time believing that they're not going to pay you. Honestly. It's very rare that I see people coming from another country to come here to work for free. Did you discuss pay, yes or no?
At the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, an American pulled a U-turn to avoid accidentally heading into Canada.
Whole car smells like weed.
But now he's in secondary inspection and in trouble.
The driver had a little bit of marijuana in his pockets.
Although the traveler didn't leave the United States, he's still subject to a thorough search.
Yeah, if you can check underneath that seat all the way.
The car is clean, but that still leaves the marijuana found in the driver's pocket.
How much weed did they have on it?
Maybe like a gram.
A gram every season? It's a turnaround, isn't it?
Cut them. Come on up here. Okay, we are seizing the marijuana from you today. There's no penalty though, but we do have to seize it. Okay?
Because the driver never made entry into Canada, we're just going to seize the marijuana, but they're not going to be penalized for it.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks. They really just got lost. They should have turned right a little bit earlier.
At the International Mail Center in New York City,
Yeah, show me where. Where?
Detective Dog Brie has a reaction to something in this package from Israel.
All right. Ooh, what is that? Wow. What we have here is we have a whole box of what we call khat. Khat is something that we don't necessarily regulate in agriculture, but it is regulated for narcotics. We'll bring it over to our narcotics division, and then they'll process it at that stage.
But Brie isn't done yet.
Which one? That one there? You want to try it? All right, let's see. So we're going to open. Let's see.
Yes. Is it this parcel? What do we have? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
In Detroit, a Swiss traveler claims he's here for unpaid work.
I'm here to intern. Intern. Okay.
But if he intends to work without a permit, he could be hiking back to the Alps.
I have a hard time believing that they're not going to pay you. Did you discuss pay, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and how did that come up in conversation?
Well, they said, well, it's not a big deal if you need payment.
Okay.
But I told them that I don't need any payment.
The officer attempts to contact the employer. With no answer, he calls one of the traveler's relatives back in Switzerland.
What's the reason he's coming to the U.S.?
He's visiting friends.
What else is he going to be doing here?
I hope he's going to have a good time.
He was dancing around the intern issue as well. Let me ask you this. You don't know that he came to the United States to perform an internship here?
An internship? He's going to work. Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
He's not going to have a paid job.
Okay, it's unpaid. It sounds as if it's an internship.
It's unpaid, yeah.
We never like to leave it in the hands of just one officer. I like to involve as many people as I can. I talked to another officer and a supervisor, and we really did analyze what exactly this traveler is coming to do. As far as productive labor is concerned, he's not going to be taking a skilled worker's job. It was strictly an internship. He was going to be looking over someone's shoulder for the most part, and we're okay with that. There's some things you can do in the U.S., there's some things that you can't, there's some things that you need a visa for.
Yes.
What you're doing here is legal. There was no reason to lie about it.
I'm very relieved. Very relieved.
Okay, thanks, man. If he was not honest with me and he didn't fess up, he would have been returned to his country.
At JFK, a traveler arriving on a flight from the Caribbean is arrested for allegedly smuggling cocaine in a backpack.
Right now, we're gonna extract the packages of the backpack to get the final weight.
It's coming on, it's coming on. There you go. There you go. Oh. There you go, it's number 2.
Easy one, it's right there.
Perfect. Is that it? All right, make sure. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing, look, you see?
Look, this is what they did. They put coffee.
That's probably what they think it is. They're gonna mess the smell of cocaine.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Total weight of cocaine that was found in the backpack was 1.942 kilograms.
Okay.
In the baggage area, passengers from the same flight are now under increased scrutiny.
Bill, it's cardboard. It's just cardboard. Very thick. No. Okay, I got it.
Excuse me. Hi, may I see your documents? I noticed one of the passengers seemed nervous, and I just stopped him for a routine inspection. Can I see your backpack, please? When I opened the backpack, I noticed one of the panels felt thick. Right now, I'm gonna bring the traveler and the backpack to a private area. I'm gonna cut the bag to make sure nothing is in there.
At the Peace Arch border crossing in Washington State, a Canadian wants to enter the US in a borrowed car, but isn't entirely sure what's in it.
I didn't look through it all, but I'm sure it's clean.
Since you are crossing the federal border, and you gotta know what you're traveling with, so we'll look into it and see what we got.
He's really just dropping it off for his friend now.
That's nice of him, but unfortunately, you just can't take everyone's word for it all the time, so.
In this case, the car is clean.
Everything checks out, nothing out of the ordinary. We'll be on his way. It's nice of what you're doing, but for the future when you're crossing, I know with his picture ID saying so-and-so is gonna be traveling with my vehicle, dropping it off up here.
Absolutely, yeah.
It might have been tricky for them to understand exactly what I was doing with this vehicle exactly, so next time I'll have all the papers ready.
Perfect. All right, that's it. Thanks a lot.
At the JFK mail facility in New York City.
That one there, you wanna try it?
Detective Dog Bree has her paws on a parcel.
What do we have? Uh-oh. Good girl. So what we have here is, there's a lot here. A lot of beef product. Certain countries may carry mad cow disease and foot and mouth disease. Since it's non-commercial and no label, we would have to take the most restrictive action and we would have to seize that product and destroy it. What is that? On a regular day, we might find 12 to 20 parcels agriculturally of concern that we would be doing seizures for and destroying. You are a good girl.
Inside the terminal,
It's right there.
officers seize a backpack stuffed with cocaine, and the alleged drug carrier is arrested.
Total weight of cocaine was 1.942 kilograms.
Excuse me.
And now,
Can I see your backpack, please?
an officer is suspicious of another traveler's backpack from the same flight.
When I opened the backpack, I noticed one of the panels felt thick. I'm gonna bring the traveler and the backpack to a private area. I'm gonna cut the bag to make sure nothing is in there.
She noticed it, how unusually thick. She cut open. That's what came out.
Backpack contained a package with thick powdery substance which tests positive for cocaine. We're gonna place the passenger under arrest for the importation of narcotics.
It's the second arrest from the same flight.
It was in one of the panels. This one panel of the backpack. Another panel. We have a total of over 5 pounds of cocaine. It was in different panels, concealed with plastic and foam, and we turn it over to the special agents.
We got 2 arrests. We got 2 people that are traveling totally different, but they have the same concealment methods.
They found a rifle, and then we found some ammunition.
They call it hamem, but it is actually pigeon.
You could see she's pretty agitated. She's shaking. You're not a drug runner, are you?
Detroit, Michigan, the largest city on the US-Canadian border. At the Ambassador Bridge, 14,000 vehicles cross the international boundary every day.
Your citizenship?
Whose vehicle? Do you have any alcohol, tobacco, or weapons in the vehicle?
For Customs and Border Protection officers,
That's good.
catching smugglers is a tactical game of cat and mouse.
Search.
And dog.
Okay.
Today, Detective Dog K and his handler are randomly inspecting vehicles pulled into secondary inspection.
Where's the rest of it?
We're looking for specifically currency and weapons and narcotics as well.
Good with this? K shows interest in a vehicle belonging to an American who has been taken inside for questioning.
He alerted the door seam on the driver's side. Oh, there go, boys.
Our K-9 found a substantial large bag, or believed marijuana. Right now, the travelers are in our holding cells. At this point, the officers are going to take everything that's in the car out to see if there's any more contraband in the vehicle.
More.
30 kilometers southwest at Detroit Metro Airport, a flight has just arrived from the Middle East.
Where are you coming from?
Agricultural specialists are on high alert for foreign pests and animal diseases that pose a threat to the U.S. farming industry.
Anything coming back with you from the trip? Okay, come with me.
Already, a passenger's leaky suitcase is crying foul.
We had a traveler from Egypt declare that she had what she called chicken. They call it hamem, but it is actually pigeon. Currently, U.S. law allows for cooked, verified poultry products to be allowed from most countries. In this case, it's raw, which makes it very prohibited, and I'm actually seizing the entire suitcase because there's blood all over it. So we're actually gonna dispose of the entire suitcase due to the avian blood contamination. We bag them up in a thick garbage bag, and they are disposed of.
Officers are now referring a steady stream of passengers to agricultural specialists in secondary inspection.
Which bag is your leaves in?
We're looking for fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, any meat products, anything that people are going to plant, basically. Sir. It's all right. Sir, man, it's okay. It's all right, it's okay.
The officers are also looking for a tiny eco-terrorist.
We are concerned about the capra beetle that's found in rice and melon seeds. It's taken a real foothold in the Middle East.
The capra beetle is a destructive invasive species.
Yeah, bizzer. Bizzer is the Arabic word for melon seed. They eat them as a snack, kind of similar to how somebody here might eat sunflower seeds. The bizzer is a host for that capra beetle that we're trying to keep out of the United States. Cannot bring bizzer. Bizzer mamnur. And they cannot bring bizzer. No bizzer from Palestine. Cannot have it.
Any grain items that comes through, we just have to look through it and see if we find anything live. There's a live test in here. This is why I'm taking it.
Really?
At the Pacific Highway border crossing in northern Washington state.
How long have you known her?
4 years.
Officers question a California-bound Canadian who says he's going to visit his American girlfriend for 2 months.
So have you visited her before down there?
3 times.
3 times. What's your occupation?
I'm a machine operator.
When do you plan to return back to work?
Back to work. I'm on special leave for a year.
How do you plan to support yourself?
I have savings.
Are you planning to do any work down in California? Yeah?
Do you have your phone with you or is it in the vehicle? All right, so you told my partner here that you are not coming down to work?
Yeah.
So if I go through that vehicle and I go through your phone, we're not gonna find any evidence, okay? So if we do find that, you're gonna be barred from 5 years from the United States. So do you wanna tell me, are you coming here to work?
No.
Take a seat, we'll get this done as quick as we can for you.
At JFK International Airport in New York City. A jittery traveler from South America has been pulled into secondary inspection.
You smoke cigarettes? Good.
Why?
You seem like you're a little agitated. What's the reason you're coming to the United States?
Vacation.
And this is where you're gonna go? Right here?
Yeah.
Who lives at this address? One of my squad members stopped this young lady. She's from Guyana. She's coming here to spend some time with her family members. How much money did you bring with you, miss? Money, how much did you bring? $800? All right. And what do you do with yourself? You
I'm
work?
a student.
Okay. You have a handbag?
Yeah, it's right here.
Do you have any student ID in there?
No.
We have a strong indicator of unease, and we're not going to let her go until we're satisfied. You're not bringing any meat or fruit, are you? Meat
No,
or
just
fruit?
snacks.
Snacks?
Like tasty snack, pocket snacks.
You can see she's pretty agitated, you know? She's shaking. One of my female colleagues is going to do a pat down on her.
At JFK International Mail Facility. No package gets into the US without a Customs and Border Protection stamp of approval.
Hold on 1 second.
Let me see.
We stop narcotics, any food and drugs that are not supposed to be coming into the country. I don't know what this is. Anything can come through here. We've seen live animals come through here, dead animals, insects, any type of pills, you name it.
Today, officers x-ray suspicious packages arriving from Africa.
Oh, that green mess right there, that box. Whatever's going through, pull that last box that just came in. Let me stop the x-ray. Doesn't look right. We're just gonna check it out. Green mass. We're not 100% sure what it could be. All right, let's see. Help.
Absolutely. We couldn't start unwrapping it. Just kind of seeing. Let's go ahead and pull it out. So as you can see, they utilized carbon paper just to try to conceal it from the X-ray.
What's the reason you're coming to the United States?
Inside the terminal,
You seem like you're a little agitated.
officers want to know why this traveler from Guyana appears so nervous.
She's shaking. One of my female colleagues, we're gonna do a pat down on her. You appear a little bit agitated to us, and we're just doing our job because you seem like kind of nervous. But people are nervous for a million reasons. We just got to make sure that you're coming here for the right reasons. Okay? The flight you came in on, we constantly get young people bringing cocaine. You're not a drug runner, are you?
No, this is my first time traveling by myself.
Oh, okay, and you're a little nervous and stuff. Yeah, that's all right.
The pat down is negative.
Her anxiety was predicated upon the fact that she's a young single traveler, and we were satisfied that it was nothing more than innocuous nervousness. Thanks again for your cooperation.
It's my first time traveling alone, and I'm very nervous because, first of all, the plane is very scary, and then coming at the airport and you don't know anybody.
We did the right thing. We stopped a young passenger from a high-risk country who was admittedly very nervous.
At the Pacific Highway border crossing,
So you told my partner here that you are not coming down to work?
Yeah.
a Canadian on a year-long leave of absence from his job says he's going to California to visit his girlfriend for 2 months. But a search of his phone may call him out.
I found a message asking him, are you really going down to marry that girl in California? He was looking up a bunch of rings. I'm looking for more evidence before I start talking to him about that.
He's got his whole desktop computer.
Yeah. Is this a mattress? No, it's a
TV.
Yeah. You're going down to see your girlfriend. You're not bringing that size of a TV.
No, you're not.
I don't have faith that this guy's going back to Canada. People, you don't usually bring large TVs down. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to talk to him, see if he'll admit that he's coming down here to live and work.
At the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit,
Oh, there go boys.
Detective Dog K sniffed out a sack of suspected weed in an American traveler's car.
We're continuing the search, and we found additional marijuana.
Let's go test it right now. He has to get the substance far enough down in the pouch where the chemicals will react with it. He breaks the glass capsules. Once he agitates it up, then we'll get a positive reading. It'll change color. And you can see the orange that's coming into it. That orange is a positive indication that it's marijuana.
And that's not all.
They found a rifle, and then we found some ammunition. Anytime firearms come in and out of the United States, you have to have either registration from U.S. Customs or you have to have a license from the State Department to take guns in and out.
It's old and rusty, but that doesn't mean it's not deadly. He has ammo with it, so I mean, we can only assume that it's a functional weapon.
He failed to have the State Department license to bring the gun into the United States from Canada, and he also failed to declare that weapon when he came into the border.
It's a bad day for one guy.
At Detroit Metro Airport.
There's a live test in here. This is why I'm taking it.
Really? Agricultural specialists discover an unwelcome stowaway in a bag of lentils belonging to a traveler from the Middle East.
If anything live is present, then we just seize it automatically. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the commodity is going to be prohibited. We just take it because we find the live pests.
Officers are also searching for the usual suspects.
No. No meat. Meat is not allowed. You can get a penalty, $300. You're getting a warning today.
All 3 of my jobs as a biologist before I came here were doing control work for invasives that already got into the United States. This is the first job I've had as a biologist where I'm not cleaning up a mess that's already here. Okay, what kind of fruit is this? It's fresh figs? Yeah. So you cannot bring any fresh fruits or vegetables. These we have to take, the rest of the stuff is okay, so you can go ahead and pack this one up, all right? We've got bins full of fresh fruits, vegetables, seeds from the Middle East. We're gonna go through all those. We're gonna look for plant pests, insects.
At JFK International Mail Facility.
So as you can see, they utilize carbon paper just to try to conceal it from the X-ray.
Customs and Border Protection officers have seen through a smuggler's thin disguise.
I think are money orders from what I see, but let's see. Yeah, definitely look like money orders. Go ahead and cut a little bit more here. Just last week, we found another shipment with approximately $3 million in money orders.
Domestic money orders are widely accepted at cashing facilities across the United States.
We're talking about 2 bundles. This is only just 1 bundle. The other bundle, we have it on this side. There's an active trade in a very huge amount of people out on the streets willing to purchase this kind of counterfeited illegal products. Well, this might be something else. Maybe a surprise today.
Yeah.
Where are you going today?
Who's the owner of the vehicle?
At the Ambassador Bridge.
Oh, there go boys.
First it was weed, then it was a gun.
He has ammo with it, so I mean, we can only assume that it's a functional weapon.
Now, 2 American travelers are in Customs and Border Protection custody.
The travelers are in our holding cells. They've been patted down to make sure they don't have any contraband on them or any weapons at this time. So at this point, we're going to get it all weighed up. We'll make a determination on whether we're just going to penalize and seize it or whether we're going to go for prosecution.
64.3 grams.
It's a large amount, but it looks like it's a personal use amount. At this point, it appears that he wasn't intending on smuggling drugs into the United States. We're going to seize the firearm and the marijuana. We will assess a civil penalty for that.
Pack Highway in Washington State.
You're going down to see your girlfriend, you're not bringing that size of a TV.
Officers have tuned in to a Canadian who claims he's visiting his American sweetheart.
He's got the text message saying that he's coming down here to live and marry the girl. I'm gonna talk to him and see if he'll admit that he's coming down here to live and work. Just be honest with me. You know we've gone through your phone, we've gone through your vehicle.
Yeah.
What's going on this trip? You going to get married down there?
No.
Why did you tell someone you were?
When?
Are you going down to California to get married? Yeah, mid-November.
No.
Yes, you did.
Must have been old.
That was on Wednesday.
I talked to another friend since then, and I told them I was going to do it the proper way.
Well, it doesn't look like you're doing it the proper way. I don't see people come down for short visits with large TVs. Looks like he's going down to Southern California and probably going to stay down there. So what do you have to make me believe that you're actually going back to Canada?
In Detroit,
no meat.
agricultural specialists seize bags of prohibited food off a flight from the Middle East.
There's a live test in here. This is why I'm taking it.
Really?
Yeah, right here.
Now they're taking a closer look inside the lab.
One of my colleagues found a live insect in lentils today. We got a couple big bins full of fresh fruits, vegetables, seeds. We're gonna go through all those. We're gonna look for plant pests, insects.
See, there is more.
There was a beetle found in the lentils. It's suspected Brucidae. That's the family of beetles. Those are seed weevils that spend the larval part of their life inside a bean. It's a really unusual find for us. We usually don't take a real hard look at lentils, so that's something new. I'll be taking a better look at that commodity in the future.
Samples of the pests will be sent to the US Department of Agriculture for identification.
Unfortunately, once a lot of these things are established, we'll never really get rid of them. This is our chance at actually fixing the problem, is catching it before it gets established.
In New York City,
We're talking about 2 bundles. This is only just 1 bundle.
a box concealing bundles of suspected counterfeit money orders continues to pay off.
Oh, this might be something else. Maybe a surprise, yeah. So these are checks. More money orders.
An envelope in between. Here you go.
Oh, we can check what the envelope is too. Different denomination. Some organizations would do this to finance illegal activities. We'll take it to detention. We don't want to be financing terrorist groups or criminal organizations overseas that are willing to hurt our country.
In Washington State,
You going to get married down there?
No.
Why did you tell someone you were?
Must have been old.
That's not old.
a Canadian claims he's just visiting his American girlfriend, but the contents of his vehicle suggest he's staying a lot longer.
So what do you have to make me believe that you're actually going back to Canada, that you have a life in Canada, that you have a reason not to stay in California? I've been to California. It's a nice place. I wouldn't come back to this raining weather.
I understand that.
So what do you have to prove?
Well, I have to come back and get my dog, and I've left all my furniture and all my other hobbies behind.
Did you buy the ring yet?
No.
We don't see any evidence of a life up in Canada or a reason to go back. He's presumed to be an intending immigrant until he can prove otherwise. If you're really going down there, you're going to want to get married, and I don't want to jeopardize that through the whole immigration process, okay? So I'm not going to bar you. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to allow you to withdraw your application and go back. What you're going to need to bring down to show me or show the other officers when you cross is called ties and equities, okay? So I need proof that you have a place to live in Canada. You're going to need strong proof, like 6 months worth of.
That's the leave of absence.
That doesn't, I mean, that's a leave of absence. That's telling us that you don't have to work for a year. Even if he was just going to stay down here for a year, I don't believe he would come back after that year. Okay, so we're going to turn you around here. You can actually have your phone. I don't want to get that wet and put it in your pocket or whatever. I'll give you this paperwork to give to Canada so they don't give you a hard time about coming back with duty or anything like that. Okay, so let's head up. I want proof that there's a reason for him to go back to Canada. All right, just get that stuff and you can come back as soon as you get it, okay?